Last night I cried like a baby when the guy did $1 billion. All 5'4" of them, built like a black pear. Kind of narrow at the shoulders and wide in the ass. It's black. Of all the fucking people, he shouldn't have done $1 billion. Does this shit work? You motherfucking right it does. If that fucking monkey can do it. He writes me, what do you want me to do? I owe you. You don't owe me anything. Kind of narrow at the shoulders and wide in the ass. He wouldn't understand. For those of you that think you're physical fitness buffs, came to the seminar in October 2015. When I do the deals, nobody is surprised, right? If you do a deal, they'll fall over fucking dead. $1 billion. $1 billion deals don't fall just fucking off the fucking turnip truck. Anyway, he said he'd come up here. I said that wasn't necessary. I said that this group don't waste your fucking time. Don't waste your fucking time. We're not going to talk to him on a webinar either. You got better things to do now. Another guy, 150,000 pounds of fucking chump change. We don't even want to talk about him. 250, another one. 200, another. Ah, fuck. We don't need to talk about them now. I got my $1 billion baby. Fuck, I can't believe it. Even I can't believe it. So when you get out there and you're crawling around in the gutter, several of you have asked me already, do you think I can do it? I lied and said yes. I lied. Any questions about the movie last night or the thing in the beginning was all these high performance people say the same thing basically. Any other takeaways from that?
What you imagine you become.
Correct. Schwarzenegger thought he was going to be president of the United States. They thought they changed the law because you can't be natural citizen. You have to be natural born citizen to become president of the United States. He even married into the Kennedy family. Well, but that didn't work out well. Anything else from that? What did you see? Oh, yes, sir.
I'm the only problem I will ever have, and I'm the only solution.
Jawohl, mein Herr. Yep. You know, it's like I said, the last 20 minutes of the seminar yesterday, I said that the good news is you're here, and the bad news is you're here. You are the problem. You are also the solution. You are the solution. And but see, those are just words. Those are just platitudes. Those are just cliches. You know, talk's cheap. Takes money to buy whiskey. And it's a motherfucker. So far, the people that you listened to or heard about, they all laughing now because they did it. But you know, I went back and looked at some of his weekly reports from a year ago. The guy that did the $1 billion deal. I mean, I just visualized what he must have looked like when he was typing them. Suicidal comes to mind. Suicidal comes to mind. But the bottom line is that, you know, all that's bullshit now because now, you know, And he's got others on the boil, and now and the thing that he said, I asked him what switches did he make in his board. He fired everybody over Christmas, his entire board, every swinging dick, and replaced them. And he just fired his CFO 2 weeks ago and replaced him. He says, I can see you nodding as you read this. And he said, but I don't know why. And he says, but now I'm following the steps. Because he was a Macedonian. Where's the Macedonian? There he is. He was, he went to 1 to 5. He didn't do it the day before, the second day of the seminar. I mean, he did it a few months into the program. Now he said it's so easy when you do the steps. And he just did the billion. But you'll be afraid to fire your chairman or your CEO or these different people. But if they don't get with the program, and if they're not on the bus, and if they're not all rowing the same way as you throw them out. I know that you're all shaking your head. It'll be interesting. The great interest is when you go do your first Zoom call and you look at all your faces and you can see each other. You can see who's depressed and who's relatively happy. It's hard to get depressed in the first Zoom call because nothing's happened. What else did you see after that?
Mike Tyson.
Yep. And what was the takeaway from Michael?
His career started when...
Gus D'Amato.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah. Isn't that... go ahead.
Yeah. Mike Tyson's career started, or his success started, when he was willing to take a punch. And then when he...
Because the first time he took a punch, he wanted to cry, or he did cry, and yeah.
And then he asked how to throw a punch.
Yeah.
That's how that started.
Yeah. Well, you got to learn to take a punch. The little guy that did the billion, I mean, he took some... you would think, and he would think, some pretty hard blows. They're not. But nobody's really hitting you. Nobody's hitting you with a 2x4. I feel like it. Any other takeaways from Mike?
His mentor gave him the tools, but he used them.
He followed the steps. You have the tools. I mean, when you leave here, there's a handful. That's an exaggeration, but there's so few people on the planet that understand how to use the financial orchestra. I mean, it's. I thought when I first started doing this over 20 years ago that you would be stepping on each other's feet and 25 times in almost 24 years have the paths crossed of my mentees. 5 times. Because you're looking for an excuse why it won't work. Well, I mean, I'll probably run into another guy. Or another guy's going to be... And that's just not true. Now, I thought that everybody'd be doing this. I thought that I could do this for 5, 6, 7 years. I originally was going to do it to the year 2000. Then I was going to do it till I was 50, I was 55. Yeah. Because I kept thinking there's going to be somebody. It's like on the internet. You put something up that works, it's copied within 2 days. I kept thinking that. But here I am in almost 24 years, and still nobody's doing it. And, of course, the answer to that is because the guys that are teaching this have never done it. And they're selling something. So they got to make a living to sell something, and hard shit doesn't sell. Hard shit doesn't sell. Telling you that it's easy sells. 3 or 4 of you have asked me about tips. That's hilarious to me. Do you have any tips? I mean, are you retarded? And the people that have asked me know who you are. Where does that word come from? Tips. What does tip mean? What does it mean?
Easy way out.
Yes, thank you. A shortcut. There are no motherfucking shortcuts, you retards. You take the hill by charging it up and taking casualties, collateral damage. In your particular case, it's all emotional. It's very seldom physical. Tips. Fuck. That's hilarious to me. It's like asking a Navy SEAL, "Oh, you got any tips how we're going to take this fucking bunker?" I mean, Jesus. You got any tips? Or when the guys that have fought Tyson, got any tips how, fight Mike? Because you want an easy way. You want the easy way. And you've given your children the easy way so far, for those of you that have kids. And God knows your parents, even though some of you got beated, as you say, they gave you the bubble wrap way. You've been bubble wrapped with your little trainer wheels on your little bicycle. I tell a joke, it's not true. I was so poor I had a possum for a dog. Possum you get in the forest. That's not true, but when we're down in the South, they all like to hear that because, that's a very Southern thing. Or that ball worked so hard he wore his clothes from the inside out. Now when you think, what the fuck's that mean? He wore his clothes out from the inside. Don't mean shit is what it means, but that's a saying that they're saying. But it means he's a hard-working son of a bitch, and that's what it is. From the inside out. Anything else? Yes, sir.
I thought it was really interesting how Mike Tyson was saying that intimidation, when he started learning that, he could actually beat bigger opponents.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was at the fight in Las Vegas when he first won the championship against whoever it was. I was sitting in the third row, and he was hitting the guy. The perspiration when he was hit the guy was coming from the ring and hitting me in the face in the third row. And there's about, 6-8 feet between the first row and the ring, edge of the ring, and I'm in the third row, and the perspiration, was hitting me in the face. And behind me was Danny DeVito, Robert De Niro, and another actor. I forget who it is. Another Italian guy. And they were trying to, the sweat that got by me was getting on them in the fourth row. Yeah. But he won many of his fights just by intimidation. In one of the books that I do recommend, Winning Through Intimidation, the first one, not because Ringer, he had to make a living too. He wrote 3 or 4 or 5 of them after that. Just like I say, E-Myth, the first one, Michael Gerber. The first one, not the 6th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, is something worth reading. And of course, Release Your Brakes. And you're going to get a list of the 8 or 10. You don't have to read any of those because some of my kids haven't read any of them. None of them. And of course, I told you one of the guys never heard of Tony Robbins, which the group in here, all collapsed. Tony? Who's he? And everybody just fell in their chairs. I'm not taking anything away from Tony, but this kid had made a lot of money. A Canadian kid. He was from near Cold Lake, Canada. Cold Lake, which is in the middle of nowhere. 60 below zero, no wind chill, 60 below. But he made a lot of money. And he didn't know who any of the guys. He didn't know who Napoleon Hill. He didn't know Think and Grow Rich. He didn't know anything. Yes, he could read, but dropped out of school when he was 11 or 12 years old. Got thrown out of school when he was 11 or 12. Okay, YouTube. Thank you.